All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host for this morning's session, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And we're definitely happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with us this morning as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of in the Forex market. So without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes. Let's make sure that we participate and engage. If everybody can hear me loud and clear, you're all ready to go on this beautiful morning. Drop me a one in the chat and we can get this session on its way. All right. I see the ones coming in. I appreciate it. And so let's make sure that each and every morning that we start with that strong foundation. Let's make sure that we are taking massive action. Make sure that we are accepting all possible losses before entering a trade, preparing you for any outcome. Center ourselves, right? We want to make sure that we center ourselves in body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading. We want to make sure that we continue to trust in our education, strategy, and trading skills. We want to imagine our trade successfully materializing and that we are obeying our trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed and fear. And let's make sure that we're never looking back or stopping once that trade has commenced. So I hope everybody is ready to take massive action this morning as we go over and take a look at the economic calendar today, March 14th. Right? We are in the middle of the third month of the year already. Time is moving so fast. And so we have very important data coming out for the US dollar today. Core PPI month over month, core retail sales month over month, right? And we've got retail sales month over month as well, and unemployment claims today. So this is huge for the US dollar as it continues to consolidate and range about, and we will take a look at that when we look at the tech charts. But very important today at 8:30, those numbers, see if we can get any movement. We need a catalyst right now, folks. We need a catalyst. So moving on down, we've got here at 5:30, we want to make sure we keep an eye on this too, even though it's not red, that business manufacturing index coming out of New Zealand. Make sure that we pay attention to that. And then we also have on Friday, right? We've got Empire State Manufacturing Index coming out. And then we've got the preliminary University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment uh, report coming out. So next 2 days, very important as we have some critical reports coming out, especially for the United States. Moving on over to trading economics, oil hits a 4-month high, right? And so we had posted in the community regarding oil day or so ago, and we see that WTI Brent crude futures were around 80 to 80 and $84 per barrel, respectively, the highest since early November, as a surprise decline in U.S. crude inventory signals strong demand in the world's top oil consumer. Oil prices were also buoyed by Ukrainian drone strikes on Russian refineries, ongoing geopolitical risk in the Middle East, and extended supply cuts from OPEC. So we'll take a look at oil, but we got a little bit ahead of that one. Like I said, we posted something in the community regarding that. Um, like I said, a couple days ago, I think it was. So this is the main thing, though, right? Um, Japan 10-year rises ahead of the BOJ decision. Brian, good morning, sir. How are you?
I am doing well, bro. How are you?
Doing great, man. I'm good. I'm glad you're feeling better.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
yeah. On the road to recovery. So always glad to hear your voice, man. As far as Japan, man, I know you were down for the count yesterday. Have you heard anything early parts of the morning? This is a big deal, right? We got the markets getting tied up as a result too.
Yeah, it is a big deal. You got a couple things. So the you have the members split a little bit. You have some members that um want to wait, and you have some members that are ready to go now. So some members want to wait until next month. Kind of some of the reason behind that thought process is the wage information. So tomorrow, all of the large corporations and your largest union, Rango, will have all of their wage data in. And that data is coming in relatively well. You have some organizations, it was Toyota, I believe it was, um, increasing pay up to 14%, right? But the members that want to wait, they want to see what the small and mid-sized businesses come in at when it comes to wage increases, because they feel as though those organizations won't be able to be as aggressive, but they still want the average overall to be around, I believe it's 5.86%, when you're looking at the whole picture. So they want to see some of those smaller mid-sized organizations release their wage increases before they make that full decision. So what we may see, um, coming into the beginning of next week with that rate decision, well, tomorrow, once a lot of those large organizations, we may see a reaction in the market, right? But when it comes to the BOJ rate decision next week on the 19th, what we may see is changes to some of the other pieces, like your yield curve control, right? Some are saying they may just remove that off the table completely,
Hmm.
but you'll start seeing changes to some of their overall program, and then forward guidance, which they don't normally give. We might see some forward guidance regarding what their plans are for the following month. So that's the back and forth, and literally the the members are split 50-50 on where to go. So it'll be interesting, but those are some of the pieces that are still up in the air.
Yeah, man. That is guys, the information that Ryan is providing regarding the end is crucial, right? It's very important, right? It's not something that you just pass over lightly. Because I had read something on that too, right? Waiting on those smaller companies. Now the expectations are still high for that rate hike.
It is some like 80, 86, 87% last I read.
Yeah, yeah, but they are very conservative, and with all of your central banks remaining very, very data dependent, I don't know if they do it in March because of
I'm
exactly
leaning
what
there
you're
too.
saying with those smaller companies. I read multiple, articles that were stating the same thing regarding that.
Yeah,
So it should be interesting. Like you said, it's 50-50. It's a coin toss, and I do feel like it's got the market tied up a bit.
oh
There's not a lot
yeah.
out there. That and between the dollar, the way it's sitting,
Mm-hmm.
and just moving sideways is almost making it like in regards to the currencies, like it's like we're in the deep summer months, in regards
Yeah,
to the function. That's what it
yeah,
feels like. That's what it feels like. But it's you know you go through the years in doing this, and one thing that I've got super super better at is my patience, and waiting, letting trades ride themselves out, because typically in past years, this is when I'll start delving down, getting anxious on, super low time frames, trying to find that setup instead of just letting my higher time frame swings just play out. And that's when it usually leads to a lot of over trading,
yep,
and taking trading trades that I know I shouldn't have gotten into,
yep.
just rushing things. So just being patient during the pause, but man, that is critical information that you provided, and I definitely appreciate it, and the group appreciates you, man. So
Man, no doubt, man, no
yeah,
doubt.
thanks for all the work, man. That has been a major case study, right, on the BLJ, and staying on top of that from day to day. So appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. UK housing market continues to recover, right? And so that's a good thing for the UK, right? That housing market. We know that at the housing market, no matter where you are, plays a critical role in the economy. That is a key indicator in regards to the overall health of the economy. So we'll keep a close eye on that, as that's positive uh, for the pound. Any questions so far? Anybody?
No,
Okay.
sir.
All right, because I know we tend to live in a technical world, with a lot of the retail information that you see. I know a lot of times people can look at fundamentals or they don't want to bother with it because they think it might be hard to understand, which is not. There's so many tools out there that can really bring it down to an elementary level. For you, we have Ryan, who does an excellent job covering, a lot of the fundamentals that a lot of times, on its face could appear, uh, a little, complicated, but Ryan does a great job of really uh, breaking it down for us, right, to that real elementary level. And it's important for us because it impacts us, right, each and every day. These fundamentals, impacts us. So especially as traders. So it's what makes the market move. So if it's something that you kind of find yourself skipping over, right? Let's really stop doing that, especially as swing traders. Want to go over and take a look at the DXY, right? So we can see the dollar index steadied around 102.8 Thursday as investors look forward to more U.S. economic data that could guide the monetary policy outlook further. U.S. producer inflation, retail sales, and weekly jobless claims, right, which we just covered, are on the deck for Thursday. On Tuesday, data showed the headline inflation rate in the United States accelerated to 3.2% in February, above expectations, and January's figure 3.1%, while the core rate eased to 3.8 from 3.9, but still above consensus of 3.7. Markets currently expect the Fed to hold rates steady both March and May, while traders continue to bet on a move in June. The dollar held steady across the board, but remained volatile versus the yen amid growing speculation that the BOJ could adjust the monetary policy next, right? So you can see why we have this like pause, the pauses in the market, right? It's all data dependent. We like to say the technical charts, looking at the candles, right? That is a footprint of what's going on, right? The buying, selling habits, the decision making, retail traders, banks, and institutions across the globe. So this stuff matters because this is what can help you to remain calm instead of forcing trades and forcing yourself into positions that you shouldn't be in. All right. So that's where we are on the fundamentals. Good morning to everybody that joined us. Want to make sure that you guys have control of your microphone. So going over, taking a look at the DXY. All right. We can see here from a weekly perspective where this price is hovering. Okay, so far this week. So we can see we finished down last week on the dollar, and we're kind of just, neutral to bullish, right? We're still holding a little bit of green. If we come to the daily, we can see how we're just moving sideways. Okay, moving sideways. So we got a ton of things going on fundamentally, and you've got, people starting to wonder because you've got the market hitting all-time highs. When is that correction going to come? So, you have to remain patient in the market, right? Not a whole lot we could do, right? We need something to force us out of this sideways type of price action. Any questions regarding the DXY? No? All right. It's very, very, very important to remain patient. Let's move down. I want to take a look at, since we've got uh, oil headlining today, I want to take a look at oil, see what it's doing. And you can see that now, right, it's continuing, right, to move long. Okay. Sideways, but now look, we've got 2 days where we've moved bullish. We broke above that 79.21, right? Levels matter, and we are looking to push higher. We've got daily level coming in here at 80.33. Okay. All right, so we'll make sure that we're plugging that in as we move on down through the charts. We can see here that we are pushing, right? So this year we got a 382 on this latest fib that I've got here on the 4, and we are pushing long, right? So we're moving out beyond this now. And so we've got a D extension right around that 80.94 weekly level, right? And so looking like we are on our way to hitting that D extension. That D extension is at exactly 81.02. All right, so we are continuing to drive long. Uh, let me see what we look like here on one. Joy, you still playing oil to the upside?
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome job holding that position. That's a clean move on the one there, right? You got a deep correction, right? And that is moving. So still, right? You see why we believe in that Fibonacci framework is because it just plays out over and over and over again, no matter what the asset class, right? We see that that price is pushing, okay, pushing long, all right. Well, so the bulls are out. Jeremy, me too, still holding. Great job, Jeremy. Great job on that patience thing, man. Great job. Let it continue to ride. Okay. We're starting to get the fundamentals and the technicals lining up, and we see that price pushing. Right. You gotta stay patient during these times, everybody. Gotta stay patient. Gotta stay patient. Any questions on oil?
I do. What is
Yep.
it in comparison to Norwegian? Am I saying it right? Norwegian?
The Corona. You know what? Let's do that. Let's because I told you we were going to. Glad you brought that up because that came on that one off. So let's look at uh matter of fact, Ryan, do you remember I haven't done it in a long time how to do the oh here we go, the compare. I got it. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, this is not, let me see if I can just find it. Let's look at the we'll lay the index over it to see what's going on. So the index is moving down. Let's that's the index though. I don't want that. Um, there we go. That's what I want. Right. So you can see we're getting that correction right for this USD. And the reason Krona, you can see right how that oil price is moving up and right there. So you've got the USD, that's the base currency in that pair. So you can see that is weakening against that krona because that oil price is moving up. See that correction there, moving down, right? So I'm gonna mark that chart up today. In fact, that's I'm gonna do it now because you have piqued my interest. Jeremy, I am feeling the application of indifference to money. Be patience is trading with the inner circle. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. But and it takes a while to get there, doesn't it, Jeremy? Takes a while. It takes a while to get there. Yeah, yeah. That's an excellent, right? That is excellent. Drop you some sevens in there because that's very, very important, right? And indifference to money, right? Being patient, letting things play out, using proper risk management is so critical, right? And realizing that you don't have to take a trade every single day, right? Just believe in the setups that you have running, let it play out, right? So we see the correction there. Let's do it. Let's do a new workspace. USD. Okay, and add add this chart. Oh, I do. Uh, did I do it already? Oh, let's see. I did. I did start working on it, Joy. My bad. But let's let me set it up, right? So that's short. So that was actually on the money. Yeah. Moving down. Now we gotta watch out with this retail sales, may give us some pushback. So we'll see. But let's clear this out. And we'll set up our workspace. Here. Make this a monthly chart. Make this our daily chart. USD. Okay. Make this a 4. We'll make this a 1. Clear this out. Let's take a look at this thing. All right. Give me 1 second, everybody. All right, I'm back. All right. So let's take a look at this monthly perspective, mark our extreme high, extreme low. Okay. Then we'll start breaking down, uh, start doing some research on Norway, right? All the ins and outs of that country. And we'll mark our support and resistance, right? And you all just have been doing an excellent job of posting your homework, right? Great work. Really appreciate the effort. And we could tell by the homework that you all are getting this thing, right? Now it's just about repetition and building that confidence. And over time, um, allowing things to play out so that you can start to study the price action and believe in your own setups. That's the key, right? That's when you get to experience the true freedom, right? Is when you do it on your own and you know how to mark up your charts, you know how to form a directional bias, both technically and fundamentally, and then you just let it all play out. Right? That's the beautiful thing about this community. That's the aim, right? The aim is not to make you dependent on us, right? It's for you to build the skill set technically and fundamentally and build the mindset to believe in yourself, right? So that you could become a consistently profitable trader all on your own, right? That's the key. Okay. I see Kay, right? Danette, Joy. many others, many others. You know, posting trade ideas and posting charts. That's what it's about, right? We want this community to be one big giant think tank, so to speak. All right. That's how we all get better. Okay. So there we go. This is what we're looking like, right? Slap the fibs on. It's quite interesting price action. All right. Kind of bouncing around in this range. This is long term. All right. So this is our latest move right here. And let's see. So we'll mark these down, head on down to the daily time frame. Okay. Look at these levels. And like we said, I thought you can you can really start to figure things out and do some damage in this market just by knowing how to market levels correctly, okay? And understanding why we do it. Okay? That's without even, you know, putting the fibs on the chart, and understanding, the Fibonacci principles and things like that. Uh, just being able to identify your levels is huge. Okay, no matter what time frame you're trading on, we feel like taking a top-down approach, right, to what we do, right? Getting outside of the frame, zooming out is the best way um, to approach these charts from a technical perspective. All right. So we've got here lately, in that price action, right? Making, lower lows and lower highs. We've since pulled back. We don't have an official swing here yet. And we want to make sure, right? We know fundamentally we've got some key US data uh, coming along. Okay. So let's drop these smart fibs on here. And you can see, right, overall, we've got a swing, right? That's the US dollar. And now right here in this small area here, we've got a downturn, right? Moving down. As that oil price is creeping up, right? Bouncing a little bit all over the place. So we don't have a daily level confirmed yet. You do have a full hour. And you've got support here. So you can see that this could bounce either way, right? If you're bullish, right, on the oil price right now, because of that demand, then this could be your move here, right? Off that oil data that we're getting, right? Increased demand, like so. Now drop this like that. So right now we've got the dollar moving sideways. We've got retail sales data coming up. We've got a bump in the oil price, right? We just looked at crude oil. Um, and so we'll see if this correction continues to move to the downside, right? We've got a break of a trend line. We've got a decent pullback just short of the 786. Okay. Let's see how retail sales comes out. All right. Get a break of that support there. 1044, right? And we can continue to move lower, right? We're going to see what that data looks like at 8:30, right? So that's my bias right now is to the downside. Okay, could change depending on the data. All right. It's also my goal for this year is to be an independent trader, developing my own trade ideas, and it's working out. Not there yet, but getting there. Hey, it's all about the journey, Jeremy, right? Everybody's each of our own individual journeys. That's huge. You've come such a long way, man. Proud of you. And I appreciate you sharing, you know, sharing your thoughts and insights. It's a big deal, man. It's a big deal. That's it. All right. Okay. That's it. All right. Joy, what do you think?
It looked like oil. Once you zoomed out, I was like, wow, that's some crazy pricing. But it's about as, opposite like how EU look.
Hmm.
Because of how the dollar going sideways. But it was one of those charts you was on, it was a wicked long engulfing candle. And maybe it was just the screen was elongated. But
Maybe.
those are they have some nice engulfing candles with strange pricing movement, but I was interested to know what they was about.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah,
And
let's see how let's see how it plays out. I'm glad you brought that back up. You see, I had my charts. I just hadn't worked my way back to it.
I
Right?
didn't know that that was an index, so I just left it alone. I was like, okay, I'll wait. I ain't in no rush.
Oh no, yeah, no. This is a currency pair. That was the index that I had on that overlay initially. I wanted to see what that index looked like, but we
Those
really.
right there, those engulfing candles right there.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, how, I'm gonna go back just to 1 hour. I'm gonna go back and look on the day to see what that news is, because it's like, how did price move that extreme like that? And then, but it's all taken back now. So
Yeah, yeah, I understand. And this one I'm drawing up here is more in the short term. You can see how the capital fib still has the dollar long against it. But this is me just looking at a short term move uh, with that oil, seeing a push higher, um, and that dollar moving sideways and possibly bearish. So this is how I'm gonna leave it right now.
so this is where they're sending the oil and we're picking it up, or is that in Italy?
That was in Italy. You talking about a while ago with the war and everything that's going on way
Yeah.
back when? Yeah, that was coming out of Italy.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So let's see how that plays out. Short term move, long term may be a little bit different as of right now. All right, that's that. Any questions on this pair? I get caught up on the fundamentals with this one.
Nope. I appreciate you going over the chart.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Uh, all right. So we looked at that. I want to take a look at gold. I wanted to look at a couple commodities this morning. Um, let's see where we are. Because we had it drawn up off the 4 hour, right? And we can see how this is just continuing to just push and push and push and push, right? Push higher. Okay. Gold price 2171. Let's take a look at this monthly. Fit, right? We can go higher. Beautiful swing, right? We can push higher. Coming on down to the weekly. That take that off. Let's make sure we've got it right. Gold. So coming into the year, we said, hey, fundamentally, we're looking at some point during the year being in an interest rate uh, cutting environment, right? Where central banks are looking to possibly cut rates, and typically gold does fairly well, right? We said that coming into the year, right? So far so good on the plays to the upside. Okay. But we know eventually, right, we'll see some sort of correction, but it's moving in our direction. As a matter of fact, right, based on the fids here with the smart analytics, we've got a new AB boundary. Okay. We got a new AB boundary. 4 hour is where we've been watching this, and we've been pretty much right on the money. Okay? So if you're playing gold long, congratulations, right? We got within range of this 4 hour D extension. So took profit on that. Don't blame you, but that's been a beautiful ABCD. Okay. That's all we need to trade. That's all we need to trade is that wave. Over and over and over again. We learn how to identify it and we play it well. Okay. That's it. That's what we're about. That's what we're about. Keep it very, very simple. Okay. Here we are on the one. Taking a look at it. You already have, right? Because it's a smaller wave, new fibs and things like that forming. We'll see if we get one more leg higher or if it's going to be time for a deeper correction. We'll see. 8:30, right? Retail sales is always a very, very important report, right? If you go through the training, the fundamental training, that's one of the key fundamental indicators that we pay attention to when we're talking about the overall health of an economy. Okay. Any questions on gold?
No.
All right. So let's take a look at real quick. We'll dive in and take a look at Nvidia, right? Which is pretty much is driving huge, huge, huge stock, right? That's driving the market. We'll take a look at this setup here from the 1 hour. As soon as I can get my fibs to come back to me. There we go. And we can see, right, that no matter the asset class, right? This is U-turning, right? We've moved sideways a bit. We're looking for it to drive one more leg. We want to see NVIDIA go to 1,000. We've got a D extension right there at that 999 mark. Okay. But beautiful U-turn in the zone, and it's creeping its way up. So let's see if we can get a continued bullish run, right, to $1,000 for NVIDIA. Okay. The major player in that AI space. Okay. Right, producing those what do they call those, running those GPUs or whatnot, right? So big time, right? 10 years ago, it's at $5 a share, something like that. Right? Now we're looking to push to 1,000, right? So just wanted to go over that. That's one that I'm following closely. See if we can continue that bullish move. All right. So if you learn anything from the Forex market, it's going to be proper risk management and that the market moves in waves and that fundamentals matter. Right? Anything to add to that, Ryan?
No, sir. Fundamentals matter, man.
Yeah, it
No way
does.
around it.
It does. Right? Gotta pay attention to it. Gotta pay attention to it. All right. So checking in on the S&P, right? I'm doing all this because we're getting ahead. We're looking ahead to this retail sales just to see where everything is. Right? We know things just keep pushing higher and higher. This is some amazing stuff, right? This is some amazing stuff. So now we're pushing into our 80-20 zone on the daily here in the S&P. Okay. No correction yet. The bulls are in control. So now what we want to start to look for, okay, now that we're in this zone, do we start to get that sideways push? Okay. Do we start to get that sideways price action? Okay, moving back and forth now that we're in this zone. Okay, does retail sales play a part in that? Does consumer sentiment, right? We've got that report coming out too this week. We've got, unemployment numbers, whatnot. Does it start to push sideways at this level, or does it just continue to accelerate? Right, here we are on the 4. No correction there. Okay. I don't like to continue, or I don't like to take initial trades, right, at these levels. Okay, I want to make sure that I'm saying that correctly. Right. Don't want to take initial trades at these levels. You can see where if you've been in a position long, right, where you have opportunities to, you know, add to positions, right, on trend line breaks and things of that nature. Right. But if you like to play, right, your support and resistance levels. But to take an initial trade at this level is a little bit too high for me. Right? A little bit too high for me. So that's the S&P. Let's see how it plays out. Do we hit that extension on it? Right? Is that 52? 52. Wow. Wow. Right. But you can see how some people are starting to pause a little bit, right? And take notice that we are getting, that I'm gonna say that we're getting, that we are at, right, all time highs. Okay. How much further can it go before we see a correction? Any questions on the S&P? No?
Well, I do have a question. The
Sure.
indices more so rallying because it's a political year, or it's just doing that good.
No, no, a lot of it's just it's doing that good. You've got a lot of people taking, caution because it's a political year. And not only is it a political year in the United States, right? It is, as we talked about towards getting, closing out last year, that this is a political year across the globe. You have a record number of elections, across the world this year. So you do have Ryan. Who is that? You've got major players in the game, taking profit, right?
Yeah, you got Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett's taking some profit. Um,
Jamie
it was
Dimon,
like Jamie Dimon,
Zuckerberg.
um, Zuckerberg. Yep, yep. So you got some large players taking some profit. Um, but I was reading this article this morning, bro, and basically what they said was uh, investors are continuing to push the market up because rate cuts will come at some point.
Yes, yes.
So they're not even paying attention to the data anymore.
Yes.
At some point, the rates will get cut. So they're going to keep buying.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something,
Yeah,
man? But but
yeah,
again, the fundamentals matter, right?
yep.
So, how many of us have been in groups, especially early on, where they don't even talk about it, or they talk about it to the extent that, hey, watch your day trades on a 2-minute chart today because there's a big red folder at 8:30. That was like the extent of what they talked about it, right? Anybody? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But
No, definitely not just you. Me
No,
too.
not just you.
yeah, right. I remember those days, those early days, in the game, like, oh, it's a red folder, like we're gonna wait, and then you would get right, you would get right back to it. But yeah, man, it matters, and that doesn't surprise me, Ryan, at all, at all, because they're like, it's coming, right? They're just gonna keep calling it until it happens, and then they'll all be on the major news shows, like I told you so.
Yep, exactly.
Like I told you so. Even though you told me 8 different times, right? 8 different points in time, and you were wrong. That one time you got it right. Right. That's just how it goes. It's all probability. Man. So, yeah. So looking in at the Dow US 30, Right. You're seeing that similar price action, right? It's just long. People just taking a ride, right? Look at this. Just moving, right? So no correction there. But if you come down to the 4, boy, oh boy, is that a setup, right? Chasing 40,000 on the dial. That market moves in waves. It might not always move into your zone, right? May not your trade idea may not always play out. A lot of times it's just a timing thing, right? If we could be perfect with the timing all the time, we all be rich. Right? We all be rich and famous, right? Like yesterday. But that's not how it goes. That's the fascinating thing about the market, right? And oftentimes is traders who are working with algorithms and setting up things and you know bringing the technology into trading, right? Everybody's trying to continue to perfect that aspect of it, right? To the timing thing. So yeah, it's a fascinating world, but that is moving long. That's a beautiful trend line break. 61.8 pullback, and it is continuing long on the US 30. So yes, you can swing trade the US 30. Yes, you can use the fibs, right? Yes, you could trade in your sweet spots on the indices. It's all the same to us. All right. Any questions on the US 30? Nope. All right. Let's take a look at we'll keep moving up. We'll take a look, right? Look at Bitcoin. Okay. I see everybody on social media posting Bitcoin charts now. So it is that lets me know, right? At this price, we haven't gotten a correction yet. Let me take this off now, right? Covered that a little bit ago. Since a cup and handle. Haven't gotten a correction yet. Anytime I start seeing up all the crypto posts on Facebook, fear and greed, right? Fear and greed. FOMO, right? FOMO. Facebook is becoming one of my new indicators. Social media, right? Folks just come out of nowhere posting crypto charts. So yeah, so this one is continuing long, pushing higher. People are piling in, right? That fear of missing out is real, right? So you can see we've hit another extension. Okay, with that, we didn't even get a 382 correction on that. It is pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Eventually, it will dump, right? And it
Benny,
will correct. Yes, ma'am.
you want to know the funniest thing I've ever heard?
What?
I just buy my crypto and Bitcoin and let it sit there and then come back in the week and see if I got some money. I said, because somebody knew knows that I do this and they was kind of interested and they peeped, nah, you ain't got to do all that. Look at this on Cash App. You just buy a little Cash App and look, let's let it sit and come back a week. I say come back in a week if you won't be in the negative, but go ahead. Let's
Absolutely, right? You definitely have to, you know, decide how decide how you want to do it, right? Whether you trade in and out of it, or you know, you definitely have your buy and hold investors. I believe in doing that too, but some folks just talking. What you just said is a prime example. Just talking. Hell no. But that's how it goes, right? That's how it goes. Everybody becomes an expert, overnight, which I am definitely not an expert when it comes to crypto. So many of them out there. I know the major ones. I know what's going on in regards to the different ETFs that's being approved. I believe it just happened in the UK, which is huge. Um, so I definitely look for it long term to continue to move up. But I think the understanding that this market moves in waves gives you a huge edge, Joy. Gives you a huge edge. So we'll continue to see how it plays out. I have seen some funny stuff on social media as of late regarding cryptocurrency. So that's that. I had to delete 15 crypto spam bots. Yeah, unbelievable. So there we are. Ethereum, right? One that I'm definitely high on, right? Um, because it's just trailing right behind Bitcoin, right? But not as expensive right now. But I look forward to definitely continue to, stay bullish, right? So beautiful here on this daily chart. We get us a decent correction, gives us an opportunity, right? To make a major play on that, right? You got a daily level there. I mean, a monthly level at 35.85. Right? That's right at a 382, right? If it pushes below that, I would be fine with that, right? The bigger the discount, the happier I am on that, right? So you got a nice bounce off that 236 zone, and now we're turning back over. So that monthly level represents a deeper correction on the 4. So if we get back down around that level, right, let's pay attention to it, okay, with Ethereum. All right, so you can see here we had it drawn up for a correction to a daily level. We didn't get it, right? So let's see what happens if we can move it back down. All right, if we can get back down and see if we can get a reversal at some point. All right. Any questions on Ethereum?
Not on Ethereum, but can you go back to the dollar? I thought I had seen, I'm not sure if you covered it earlier, but on the daily, a crown pattern playing out there.
Yeah, I'll definitely go back to it for sure. We'll take a look at it. I am which ETF did I get into? Let me see. I got into I have to post it in the community. And then BITO. I bought shares in BITO, um, which is a Bitcoin strategy ETF. I bought into that. So, slower growth, right? So depending on, who your broker is, maybe you're using Robinhood, a Robinhood app or something like that. That's the one that I'm in. I know there's some other ones out there. Um, but BITO is the one that I'm in right now. The UK, the one I was reading about, I have to continue to read up on that. I don't know exactly. I saw it come across some things that I follow, so I have to do some more research on that one, Jeremy. But like I said, the BITO is the one that I'm in, right? Slower growth. But it gets me involved, more involved, should I say, in the crypto space. So I'll make sure I post something on that in the community. Some information on that one. Great question. You're welcome. Going back to the DXY. I know I'm bouncing around a lot today, everybody. I'm waiting on that retail sales data. Need something to break loose to get a lot of these currencies going. So in the meantime, I figured we covered this stuff. You are on the
The daily.
daily. You're thinking
Mhm.
right here with this crown.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see, right? That retail sales number. Maybe we get that push. I mean, that's a good wick there at 102. Uh-huh. Go ahead.
No, no, that's what I was saying.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I see it. I see it with you, right? See it with you. Give you sevens in that chat. Point that out, right? Because we just covered the levels earlier. Uh, we didn't call out that pattern, so I appreciate you there. But we're stalling at that 102 level, right? At 102.27 level. Maybe that's the right tip, and we get a move up. I mean, we're in the buy zone, so we'll see. Tricky times right now, but it's all
Hey,
good.
hey Benny,
Yep. Hey.
can you walk through the steps of the crown, please? Kay had a question about the crown pattern and identifying it. She was going through the training and she said the video went a little bit fast. So can you walk through the steps of the crown? And Kay, you can go back. I know you're driving right now. You can go back and rewatch this section to try to see it a little bit better.
All right. Yeah, I'll do it. We'll close out that with that, right? So 5 steps to the crown, right? So when you're looking at a crown formation, okay, I'll come up here and do it. All right. So crown formation is where you have, let me draw it up like this first, right? So we'll do the bullish crown since we were just looking at that. So this is where you have, okay. In this example that I'm going to draw, you have, right, a down A, B, C, D, right, pattern. So, right, we have an A, B, C, D wave. Okay. So we have our A, we have our B, okay, and we have our C. So you have that price action where you're moving into that ABCD wave. And what it is, this is a classic reversal pattern, right? So lower lows and lower highs, right, move into the downside, okay? But then that's followed by a reversal where we get an up ABCD wave, right? And oftentimes, right, you'll see where what would be this D, right, it may not complete. So you may have a fib level like this, move it down, and it may not, right, complete that D to that D extension. You may get a reversal. Okay. So sometimes that part can vary. Right. So down ABCD wave type of price action, followed by a reversal, right? Where we move, right? Like this. Okay. Right. The tips, right, of the crown aren't always equal. Those can vary, right? But it's just recognizing that price action, followed by an up ABCD and a trend reversal. Okay, like this. Okay. I'm up A, B, C, D. So oftentimes when price is moving in one direction, which is down, right? Making down ABCDs trending down, right? When price likes to reverse, oftentimes that's where you find. So a lot of times people have issues because they piece it all together on YouTube or from different people and things like that, right? Free content is great, but sometimes it can confuse us, right? Because it's people coming from all different type of angles, right? In 5, 10 minute videos. And so they a lot of times they can't put it all together in a framework. So oh, I've mastered all the reversal patterns. Well, within your trade plan and your framework, where do you look for those reversal patterns? Where is it ideal to find those reversal patterns? Well, oftentimes we like to look for them in our sweet spots, right? That's how we pull it all together, right, in this group. So, right, you've got a down A, B, C, D, and it reverses, and then we're followed by an up ABCD wave. But there is some things that occur, right? That'll help us identify that'll separate this crown pattern from things like a head and shoulders pattern and things like that. Okay. Because when these patterns and things like that were developed, they had very strict and specific rules to them, right? They're really not as subjective as people try to make them out to be. Right. So when we take a look at the crown pattern, so we're getting this down ABCD wave, we're downtrending, and then we get this reversal to come in, and it's like one, right? And you think about it in the context of how we trade and what our charts look like. One, price breaks to trend line. Okay. Now, so number one, price is going to break our trend line. So one, price breaks the trend line. Okay. And 2, price takes out the A. Okay. And this is very important. And while we teach, like, hey, right, understanding how the sequence works because it all comes together, right? So, okay, everybody else, when we get a down A, B, C, D wave, if we hit the D, say for example, right, we came into a D extension. Well, we know typically, traditionally, when we do this, right, and we get that D hit, then we know what? Our C, somebody tell me A, B, C, D, if we're downtrending, our C becomes our new what?
A.
A, right? Our C becomes our new A. So A, B, C, D. Our C would become our new A. We would draw our new fib because our D would become our new B. That's how we do that, right? For a continuation, a trend continuation. So our C becomes our new A. So 1, price, okay, takes out the trend line. 2, price takes out the A. That's what we mean by that. So it's taking out a major high, right? Right here, price pushed up. It didn't hold here and then pull back like you have in the head and shoulders, right? It takes out the A, okay? This is a crown. This is not all this other crazy stuff that you see on the internet. This has been around since the beginning of time, right? So 3, once price takes out that A and you recognize that, you identify the left tip of the crown. Step 3, here's your left tip right here. Left tip of your crown. That's a major low. A, B, C, D. This is your major low. Identify the left tip of the crown because that helps you to what? Foresee, right? Little trick there, right? Foresee. Step number 4. Foresee. Future. Foresee the right tip. Okay. This is what it is, everybody. There's a lot out there on the internet that can confuse you. It is this simple. Foresee the right tip of the crown. Okay. Foresee. Where could in the future could price pull back that'll give me an ideal entry point? Foresee, right? So we want to foresee. Where's my tool here? Right? Foresee it. Okay. Make that green. The right tip of the crown. Right? Straight across. Where could future support, where could price come back to? Foresee. Step number 5. Okay. Draw your trend line like this across the lows. Bang. This is what we're foreseeing. We're foreseeing that right tip. Why? Because this right, is our potential entry. There. Why? Because once price reverses, we've got an A, B, C, D wave. Reversal pattern. It takes out, right, that high. It takes out the A, right? Price breaks the trend line. 2, price takes out the A. 3, identify the left tip of the crown. 4, foresee the right tip of the crown. 5, draw your trend line. Let's go the other way. Okay, let's go the other way. So here, right, when we start to look, hey, can price reverse? And we look for that. Okay, it's okay. 1, price takes out the trend line. 2, price takes out the A. 3, identify your left tip. 4, foresee your right tip. 5, draw your uptrend line for the potential reversal. Okay, run your fib. Potential entry. Now we don't trade the DXY, right? But the concept is the same. It is just a classic reversal pattern. That's all it is, folks. That's it. Now, like we always say, it's like when you go in the store and they change the package on the bag of Doritos, right? Or change the package on the cereal box, right? Of honeycomb cereal. It's the same honeycombs in the box, right? Just a little marketing. That's all. That's all it is. Okay. But it's the same thing. No matter what, how people repackage it, we brand it, call it ICT, 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, this is a crown pattern. Okay. That's been around forever. All right. That's it. Great way to end the session. We're going to close out. We will, matter of fact, what we'll do is, I think I've got a diagram of it. If not, I'll redo it and post it in the group. And hey, appreciate all of you tuning in today. Awesome session, great dialogue. A lot of people making progress, both from a technical and fundamental standpoint and from a mindset standpoint, right? So shout out to Jeremy for sharing, all the things, his evolution as a trader. But we appreciate all of you being here. Continue to show up for yourself each and every day. And always remember, don't just count your pits, count your blessings. I am out. Got to take my daughter to school, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.